Elimination. Painful. Heartbreaking. A season's worth of dreams cut short. That's exactly what the Giants are facing as they head back to the Bay. And for this pivotal Game 3, we've got a pair of premier aces on the mound. Do you dare look them right in the eyes? Yeah. Madison Bumgarner's postseason performances have been nothing short of epic.
The legend of Madison Bumgarner in October just seems to get bigger.
Jake Arrieta is the reigning Cy Young winner, and not one to get overshadowed.
Jake Arrieta has
The Giants are no strangers to being down 2-0 in a division series. The last time ended up just fine.
And the Giants have won the World Series in Detroit.
But the team with baseball's best record is on a mission to end a 108-year championship drought. Game 3 starts now on FS1.
There are the sluggers for the Cubs. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo combined for 71 home runs, 211 RBIs this season. That's a pretty good combination, looking to do damage tonight. But it won't be easy against Madison Bumgarner, and the Giants offense really needs to get going. So they could use Hunter Pence, just 2 of 12. No RBIs, no runs scored this postseason. Giants need him to be big tonight against Arrieta. Game 3, NLDS from San Francisco, and we welcome you to the Lincoln Motor Company NLDS pregame show right here on FS1. Cubs, Giants coming your way, and what a cast. What a crew I have with me, that is for sure. We have the big hurt, the Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, the hit king. Pete Rose is here, the man with the second most RBIs ever. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez is here, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Dontrell Willis will join us in just a little bit. He's in the pitching cube back there, but promise you he is here. Pete, I want you, before we start, I want you to break down some tape for me. See, Alex, back in the day, before he drove in 1 million RBIs, was a quarterback. And you know, when he first joined us last year, this is how we welcomed him to Fox. He broke one of our $5,000 monitors. Jay Glazer's ups could have been a little bit better, too. But this was, Pete, this was now, let's fast forward to yesterday, NFL on Fox pregame show. Jay's in the dunk tag. Al, what a little off cue there, my man.
Not only off cue, but as a year later and as the same story, I still can't throw the football.
Remember what I've been saying on the field? Hey, remember what I've been saying on the show? Alex should come back next year and play.
Yeah.
After seeing that, Alex, you're done. Give it up.
Give it up.
Forget about it.
Hey, the good news is you're here next to us. We're happy to have you. There you go. I get a little assist from Chris.
I love you, Pete.
Yesterday. All right, Cubs, Giants, guys, and let's face it, on a team with talent like the Cubs, you're the breakout star for the Cubs. You could argue it's been Javier Baez so far this series, right? Game-winning home run, Game 1 of that unbelievable game with Cueto and Lester. So there was the big hit. And then Game 2 did have, after a boneheaded play earlier, a real nice base running play here. Flying home on the Hendricks base hit. He's been everywhere, that middle infield. And Baez standing by with our Ken Rosenthal, getting ready for Game 3.
Thanks, Kevin. Javier, your play all over, but you are again at second base tonight. How much do you prefer being in the middle of the infield where you can make more of an impact?
Well, you know, I think second base, I like to play it. I think a little bit more than third. You know, I get to move more around the infield and you know, to the outfield when the balls are hit to the gaps.
Now, we know you can hit any fastball. We know you fear no pitcher. But what is your plan tonight against Bumgarner?
You know, he's going out there. He knows what he's going to do, and we just got to make him throw strikes.
All right, Javier, thanks very much. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Kenny, thanks very much. So, Bumgarner, no big deal, right? You know, he's pretty good at elimination games. He's got a 23-inning scoreless streak, 20 strikeouts, 3 walks, and opponents hitting 128. 128. Of course, he had that epic save in Game 7 of the World Series against Kansas City in 2014. But the Giants offensively haven't done much. And then tonight, we just heard this. Angel Pagan scratched with a back issue, so Gregor Blanco plays, so they miss his bat. But, Frank, does that mean that Bumgarner's just got to be perfect tonight?
I don't think he's got to be perfect. The bigger the stage, the bigger his performance of late over the last couple of years. We saw what he did in the World Series a couple of years ago. He lives for these moments. We just saw it last Wednesday night. This guy's a big game pitcher, and I'm sure he's ready to go tonight.
You know, I want to get back to the Kenny interview. Alex knows because he played first base, played third base, played shortstop, and I played all over the field. You know how hard it is to play second base one day, then go to third base, then back to second base? I mean, Alex, it's not that easy, is it?
I couldn't play first base, so you're talking to the right guy.
I mean, because, you know, second base is usually a solid defensive guy that can make a good double play. And I just wonder how good this guy is at second base. Because he plays third base, he plays in the outfield. I guess
he's originally a shortstop, Petey.
Well, can you answer the question? The question was about Bumgarner.
Well,
if I wanted to ask about Baez, I'd ask you about Baez.
Why didn't you?
Because I didn't feel like it.
Okay, what do you want to know about Bumgarner?
Is the pressure on him? Does he have to be perfect?
The pressure's on the whole team. Okay. The Cubs are on vacation. They lost 3 in a row one time this year. And that's what the Giants got to do. They got to beat them 3 straight. Bumgarner will go out and pitch his game, but they have to score some runs for him.
Pete,
take the pressure off of him.
If they're on vacation, they better come back home really quickly.
Yes.
They're playing a 3-time world champion.
Yes.
Bumgarner's a 3-time world champion.
Yes.
Look, his legacy is cemented. He's one of the all-time October greats. But I will tell you, they are our version of the San Antonio Spurs and the New England Patriots. They understand competing and winning as well as anybody.
But I'd still rather be in the Cubs' position than theirs.
Oh, I agree with you. But Bumgarner, I mean,
But they're not on vacation, Pete.
Well, I mean...
They got a lot of business to take care of first.
They're relaxed. I guess that's vacation.
Okay. You say Bumgarner's going to go out and pitch his game. Why does he never feel pressure, Pete? I don't understand.
He has that makeup. A lot of guys are like that.
Giants offense.
Why this guy never go through pressure when he got in the batter's box? Why this guy? I mean,
Madison is cut. He has a similar DNA as Andy Pettitte. These guys are all business, very professional, but they're out to take your lunch every day.
Yeah, he's got that attitude, that's for sure. It's certainly his resume backs it, that is for sure. All right, plenty more to do here on the pregame show on FS1, taking it up to Giants and Cubs. Pivotal game 3, Nats and Dodgers. Who would take control of the series? Day game, Chavez, Ravine. We'll get you the highlights and the story when we come back. Addison Russell, brilliant defensively, but hitless in 14 career at-bats at AT&T, 10 strikeouts. Looking to change that against Bumgarner tonight. First pitch 30 minutes away. Come on back, baby.
There are some voices that can't be ignored.
You come at the team, you best not miss. It's time to grow up. Culture of winning matters.
Conflict draws people in. Everybody's a critic. Everybody gets an opinion. We're watching a revolution.
Speak for yourself. Weekdays at 5 Eastern on FS1.
The exhilarating 2017 Lincoln MKZ for $349 a month, only at your Lincoln dealer.
This is for everyone. Are you ready? We'll take 16 million tickets, 50,000 foam hats, 2 million of those, and 1 million with cheese.
Hot dog, hot dog. What do you want? Hot dog.
3 million hot dogs and goosebumps. We'll need billions of goosebumps. 1 million pregame rituals.
Are you done?
What else do we need? Jerseys. We'll take all of them. And one almost perfect plan. Click, tap, dip, or swipe. Choose Visa, official payment partner of the NFL.
Buy one, get one boneless wings.
I know, and I can never choose which one flavor to get.
Right.
So now I can get hot honey and garlic parmesan.
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, there's way more worlds than that. There's Earth.
Right.
Earth 2.
No.
Schmirth.
Schmirth, that just rhymes with it. That's not a real planet.
Florida.
Florida is a state.
Well, it seems like an entirely other world.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings are out of this world. Monday through Thursday after 5 p.m. In the AM, try a breakfast French toaster. This is how you Sonic.
The 2016 postseason is here. MLBShop.com has you covered. On-field tees, hoodies, jerseys, caps, and more. Get your team's official gear now at MLBshop.com.
Welcome back to the Lincoln Motor Company NLDS pregame show on FS1. As we take you up to Game 3, Cubs and the Giants coming your way tonight. Madison Bumgarner. How about this? Since the 2012 World Series, he's 5-1 with a .79 ERA in 68 2/3 innings. I mean, that's a joke. And he takes the mound tonight against the Cubs, looking to continue that absolute excellence. Meanwhile, earlier today, Chavez revealing the scene. Game 3, Nats and Dodgers series tied at 1. Nationals down 1-0 in the first. Jason Worth going to the corner off Kenta Maeda. And Trey Turner can absolutely fly. Good luck throwing him out.
Wow. What about right there? Puig missed the first cutoff man, the second baseman. Of course, Gonzalez is the one that made the throw to home.
Yep, he's done.
Okay, the second baseman is used to making that throw.
I think that's a fair point. And then it's Rendon coming through with a 2-run home run. Anthony Rendon, first of the postseason.
The Nationals saw a lot of that this season from this young man. He really stepped up this season big time.
The theme here is that the whole lineup is really contributing for Washington these last couple games. Ninth inning, Nationals up by 1. Kenley Jansen trying to keep it there. Into earthquake in Los Angeles.
Wow.
That cutter didn't cut, and that ball was poked, Kevin.
Looks like an Alex Rodriguez home run right there.
It's
way downtown.
Alex hit a couple of those. You know, guys, all of a sudden these Nationals, which lost game 1 with Max Scherzer on the mound, have a 2-1 series lead, and now the Dodgers on the brink. And with that, game 4, Dave Roberts, are you going to start Clayton Kershaw on short rest?
Dave, who's your starter for tomorrow?
We're in talks. I think that obviously the use of the pen today, no off day tomorrow, playing tomorrow. So those are things that we're going to keep in mind, but we're not ready to announce yet.
Will you be? I mean, are you going to announce it tonight?
Possibly.
All he's got to do is go out of his office, take a right, walk down to Clayton Kershaw's locker and tell him you're pitching tomorrow night. Did he call you out? Did he call you for it? What do you mean he's in talks?
Who are the talks with? Like, who are these talks?
This is a new day and age of baseball. It's the general manager. It's the trainer. It's a lot of people involved in this whole situation with his injury. I understand what he was saying because this guy's injured, coming off a back injury, but you're right. Old school, the manager would make the decision.
No, not only Clayton should pitch tomorrow night, if it goes to 5 games, he ought to pitch the 5th game, too.
Oh, man. Alex, is there any shot in the world that Kershaw doesn't start game 4?
I don't think so, Kevin. I think he has to pitch game 4. I like him in 4-day rest. I love him in 3-day rest.
Why? Really?
Well, I mean, in a lot of my conversations over the years with Andy Pettitte, he really advocated for 3-day rest. And the reason why is he felt with the fatigueness in his arm, it created more life and movement on his pitches.
That's I wouldn't think that. I would think when you're tired, it would be the other way around. That's interesting they would say that it would create more when you're tired.
Mm-hmm. Right. But a healthy Clayton Kershaw, I would accept that. But right now, they still got to worry about this back injury. You're paying this man $30 million a year. You know, it's one of those situations.
Let's not hold the $30 million
against him. But you do not want this guy to be injured going into next season. If he's sore, you cannot put him back out there with 3 days or 4 days.
Was Andy Pettitte your roommate? We're talking about Andy Pettitte.
I love Andy Pettitte, but we were neighbors in 2009, and we drove to the stadium together every day.
Well, that's a tough neighborhood to live in.
Did you get lost, or did you actually go away to the stadium?
We didn't get lost because he drove.
There it goes.
But, Kevin, we did talk about Bumgarner on 2 days rest in the World Series.
I will say this, though, and to back up your point, because our fine graphic folks have put this together in Clayton Kershaw, let's look at his numbers in 3 days rest, because this backs up your point. This includes last year, remember, he threw on 3 days rest against the Mets and was brilliant, so actually it supports your theory, Alex. 3 days rest, 6 starts, it's a small sample size, but he has been fantastic. So the talks will concur, Congress will meet, and then the Dodgers will announce in a couple hours that Kershaw will start.
You're talking one of the game's greatest starters. I mean, he has the ability to go out and do this. He's a big game guy. It's going to be up to Clayton Kershaw. And I'm just worried about the back. That's the only thing I'm worried about the back. Because the back is sore, there's a tendency he might go out and hurt his arm. You do not want him to hurt his arm.
He's a doctor? I mean,
I'm just keeping it real over here, Pete, about injuries to your superstars.
What do you mean keeping it real?
Real.
Keeping it real?
Injuries,
real.
Pete.
You're keeping it real dumb.
Injuries, Pete. Injuries.
I know injuries.
A back injury is nothing to sneeze at. It's
he
something
wouldn't
serious.
even be out there if his back was tweaking at all. Okay?
It was out 2.5 months.
And send him out to the beehive and let him get better.
When we come back, we will keep it real all day long. Peter's ready to. Hey, there's another game going on in the American League, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's the Indians and the Red Sox. We can't show you highlights, but we can show you the score. It's 4-2 Indians. They're trying to sweep the Red Sox away.
Get the broom out.
Man.
Unbelievable. Cody Allen's out, going to try and get a 4-out save. All right, so we'll get you highlights of that game.
Bye, Poppy.
Could be. We are taking you up to Game 3 of the Cubs and the Giants. We're witnessing one of the greatest postseason pitchers of all time. Ken Rosenthal takes an in-depth look at the numbers, and we examine the Cubs' approach to Madison Bumgarner tonight. Buster Posey, .311 career hitter in the division series. He's got to get going, otherwise the Giants are done. First pitch coming up next on FS1. Hang on.
You sound like a man who is afraid that I am dead right.
You talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots like they're like your kids.
I do not hate LeBron James. That's the hottest seat in sports media. This is undisputed.
This is Lynchburg, Tennessee. This is how many people were born here. This is how many are named Hiawatha Kitty McGee. This guy keeps the town dry. These guys would prefer it a little wet. This many are proud of what we make here. This is how many will go around bragging about it. This is our town. For 150 years, the home of Jack Daniels. If you can't get here, just look for one of our postcards. They look like this.
Remember, here at Ally, nothing stops us from doing right by our customers. Who's with me?
Come in.
Come in.
Come in. Hi, me.
One, two, wait. Wait, where's Tina?
You doing the hand thing?
Yep.
We're all in for our customers. Ally, do it right.
According to the Department of Justice, more than 2 million homes are broken into every year. And in 1 out of 3, a family member is home.
Not on my watch.
This is why we designed SimpliSafe, the highest caliber home protection. SimpliSafe's award-winning security keeps your family safe around the clock. And unlike other systems, SimpliSafe works without a landline, so a burglar can't cut your security by cutting a wire. Featured in this year's HGTV Smart Home, tech experts call it better, smarter home security. Now you can protect your family with 24/7 professional home monitoring for less than 50 cents a day, with no long-term contracts. Summer is the #1 season for break-ins. But right now, you can save $100 on SimpliSafe's complete protection package, plus free shipping. Order yours today. Go to yoursimplisafe.com.
What a pitching matchup tonight at AT&T Park. It is Jake Arrieta. Well, it tends to get cold over there by the water in San Francisco, and he's ready to go. The Cy Young winner last year against the postseason genius Madison Bumgarner, who threw a complete game shutout against the Mets in the wild card round. First pitch coming in 19 minutes. He's really good, but he's beatable. That's what Jake Arrieta told reporters about Madison Bumgarner last week. With every postseason, the numbers continue to defy that logic, and that legend continues to grow. Ken Rosenthal takes a closer look at a resume for the ages.
It's a tricky thing trying to assess Madison Bumgarner's place in postseason history. Clearly, he is one of the best October pitchers we've seen.
A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants and their hero, Madison Bumgarner.
How many times will you learn the same lesson?
The latest evidence? His complete game shutout in the National League wildcard game, which gave him 23 consecutive scoreless innings in winner-take-all games.
He again pitches a shutout. The legend of Madison Bumgarner in October just seems to get bigger.
Bumgarner's 1.94 ERA in the postseason is the 3rd lowest in history for a pitcher with a minimum of 10 starts.
But remember, before 1969, the only postseason games were in the World Series. For a pitcher to get to 10 starts, he would have needed to appear in 4 different fall classics. Only 5 old-timers actually did that. 2 of them, Christy Mathewson and Ray Hoyt, had even better postseason ERAs than Bumgarner. The better comparison, though, is of pitchers who, after 1969, had the chance to pitch in additional postseason rounds. Among those pitchers, minimum 10 starts, Bumgarner's postseason ERA is the best by a significant margin.
Those are the kind of legends of October you don't need a book to look up.
Kurt Schilling and his Bloody Sock ranked 2nd on the list, Cliff Lee 4th, Oral Hershiser 6th. 3 of the great pitchers of our generation, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, and Roger Clemens, rank no higher than 35th. That comparison is the stunner. Bumgarner is the outlier, the throwback, the epitome of dominance.
Struck him out.
I mean, he is doing stuff that is incredible.
And at age 27, he isn't done yet.
Oh, well, it has been some run. Thank you, Kenny, very much. Welcome back on the field with Dontrell Willis. The D-Train has joined us, talk a little pitching train. All right, give us a little feel for what these Cubs hitters are in for tonight, stepping in against Mad Bum.
Well, going against Madison Bumgarner, he's definitely going to establish the fastball inner half to the right-handed batter. This opens up everything for him, especially the slider down into the right-handed batter and the outside part of the plate, which when he misses, he still can get that call on the plate, as well as he has a great feel of his backdoor breaking ball, which is hard for right-handed hitters to keep on to plate and drive it out of the ballpark.
Well, Alex, you faced him this year, right? So what was your approach and how did it work for you?
Yeah, it didn't work very well for me, Kevin. He absolutely schooled me. We faced him several months ago in the Bronx. I went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. But what I saw is a very unique angle from where he pitches, and he's going to give you a bucket full of fastballs. He's going to challenge you and dare you to beat him with his fastball.
And I've watched him the last couple of years. He's right about that with the inside fastball. But first thing you got to do is dial your eyesight down in the zone. You got to look down in the zone and look to drive him right center as a right-handed hitter, because if you try to start pulling him, he's going to eat you up away all day long. This guy's a special pitcher, but the key is to keep him down in the zone.
It doesn't matter how he pitches tonight, Kevin. They still had to score some runs. They were quiet over in Chicago. Their offense was San Francisco, I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how good he pitches. They got to score runs. If they don't score runs, they go on vacation.
No, they do. And to Frank's point, you know, against Cespedes and the Mets, he was high, got him every single time. How about the arm angle? Let's hear about his arm angle. He comes way over here. To a right-handed hitter, does that affect you? Does it bother you?
It bothers you tremendously, and everything about his angle. I mean, Pete is very unorthodox. You don't see a lot of pitchers that tall with that type of delivery, and the ball just keeps coming at you. He is a handful.
All right, so for the Cubs, it's Jake Arrieta, right? The 2015 Cy Young winner. And from last year all the way through June, he was pretty much the same guy we saw all last year. But from the middle of June on, he wasn't. Different guy. He was more wild. He didn't have the same control, and he got hit a little bit. So which Arrieta, D-Train, we seeing tonight?
Well, he seems to be a little fresher, but last year, fatigue set in because he's a workhorse on and off the field. But that's exactly what happened with him. And as you can see, when he got tired on the mound, he wasn't really truly able to be fresh and go down into the target. And you can see in 2015, he's still a little deliberate, but for me, inconsistent, missing with the breaking ball, and the hitters love it. When you guys hang a breaking ball, that's the best thing a pitcher can do to a hitter, because now you can see the whole baseball. But again, and when you're tired, you can't drive your fastball through the target. But when you're well, that whooper-duper right there, that's my favorite pitch right there. When he has the whooper-duper going, no one can hit him. And when you live low, you live long in the big leagues. I think he's going to be able to do that tonight. But this is a big game for him because he struggled the last 2 postseason starts. He's given up 8 runs in 10 innings. So this is a big matchup for him mentally. Last time out, he gave up 7 runs and 10 hits against the Pittsburgh Pirates because they waited him out and made him get the fastball up. So this is a big start for him.
Frank, how about facing Arrieta here?
You know, I want to say the Giants hitters better be ready to hit tonight, because this guy is coming with attitude. He got dropped to 3rd in the rotation after winning the Cy Young last year. He thought he was the Cubs' ace. They got him going 3rd in the playoffs. He's ready to go. This guy's a gamer. He's looking for a big payday soon. Trust me, he knows the big stage tonight against Bumgarner. He will have his A game. The Giants hitters better be ready
Well, I was 0 for 4 off him 5 years ago, but I was 70 years old, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, I don't want to face the guy.
That's the first time I've heard you say you're 0 for something against anybody.
I was 70. I was 70 years old.
No, he's definitely tough. He's definitely tough, but he struggled on the road. So that's why I'm a little concerned. And this year, man, he's got a 5 ERA in one-run games. And this is going to be a tight ball game going up against one of the best big-game pitchers in the modern-day history.
You know, I have a number of at-bats against him, more when he was with the Baltimore Orioles.
Right.
His stuff is electric, is off the charts. But the key to watch tonight is first pitch strikes. He's a chase guy. He lives off hitters chasing his pitches. So paramount for him to go 0-1 in hitters.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened here is that a lot of hitters didn't chase the pitches, Pete.
You mean first ball strike like Andy Pettit, right? Carpooling with Andy Pettit.
Can we get Pettit on the phone for the next segment? Maybe we can do that. I'm not totally
Stay
sure.
off my Yankees. Stay off my Yankees.
All right, so it's Arrieta. It's Madison Bumgarner. These guys ready to go. 3-time World Series champ. The guy has been as good as anybody in the postseason, and he takes the mound in just over 12 minutes. Meanwhile, the Cubs being introduced at AT&T Park right now. Joe Madden taking the field, as are the rest of the Cubs. We've got you covered. Cubs, Giants, Cubs going for the sweep. Bumgarner trying to say, not tonight. We're back.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, with Liberty Mutual, all I needed to do to get an estimate was snap a photo of the damage, and voila.
Voila. I wish my insurance company had that. Wait, hold it, boys. There's supposed to be 3 of you. Where's your brother? Where's your brother? Hey, where's Charlie? Charlie?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Meet the new face of late-night sports talk, Katie Nolan.
It's my show.
As she rounds up the week in sports and beyond.
You learn new things on Garbage Time.
Garbage Time with Katie Nolan. Wednesday at 11:30 on FS1.
Upgrade season's here. I got my new iPhone 7 from Sprint.
Sprint? I'm hearing good things about the network.
All the networks are great now. We're talking within a 1% difference in reliability of each other. And Sprint saves you 50% on most current national carrier rates. And if you got 1% more haircut than me today, would you really pay twice as much?
No, I wouldn't.
Copy that.
Switch to Sprint and get iPhone 7, plus save 50% off most current national carrier rates. Don't let a 1% difference cost you twice as much.
Woo!
The hair on the face of a man is said to be as strong as copper wire. So what's a man to do? How about a razor with blades stronger than steel? The new Gillette Mach 3 is engineered to take on hair this tough. From metal stubble to manly stubble. The new Mach 3 with the world's #1 selling blades. Now starting under $10. Gillette, the best a man can get.
For unbeatable side-by-side performance, Yamaha offers 2 choices. The groundbreaking YXZ 1000R with 5-speed manual transmission. And the new YXZ 1000R Sport Shift with automatic clutch and paddle shifters. Perfect for conquering tight technical terrain. For superior side-by-side performance, the choice is easy. Yamaha. Now get up to $2,000 customer cash, plus as low as 0% financing for 36 months.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, the Giants being introduced at AT&T Park. Game 3 of this NLDS is Bruce Bochy making his way out to the foul line. Cubs going for the sweep, but the Giants have their man, Madison Bumgarner, on the hill as we take up the first pitch in a couple minutes. How about some players to watch tonight? Frank, who you have your eye on for us?
For the Giants, it's got to be Buster Posey. Offensively, defensively, he's got to set a tone. This offense is very dependent on him. When he's going well, this team's winning a lot of baseball games. With Bumgarner on the mound tonight, looking for Buster Posey to have a decent game.
Well, Hunter Pence scores a lot of runs and knocks in a lot of runs. They haven't done either one of those in the playoffs so far. So if you want Buster to hit, you got to have Hunter Who hits after him to hit?
For me, it's Ben Zorbas. He's 6 for 12 off him with a triple and a double. That's a tough matchup for Madison Bumgarner. And he took me deep, too. So he's actually good against lefties. So that's a fun matchup to watch.
You know, I like Brendan Belt, and he's 0 for 10 with 7 Ks. So that is a very bold prediction, Frank.
Wow, that's a bold one.
But what I will say is I think this guy's very underrated. He's a fine player, plus defender, throws well. I think he's going to have a nice night tonight for the Giants.
Not say it's going to be easy against lefties. Anybody like Anthony Rizzo? You know, he's only 6 of 39, 2 solo home runs last 2 years in the playoffs.
Don't worry about Rizzo. He'll be there in the clutch. This is going to be a very good ball game tonight. Well pitched. I really believe it's going to go down to the bullpens late in the ball game.
He'll be there in the clutch, you said?
Rizzo will be there in the clutch.
I know he hasn't been in playoffs in the clutch lately.
Pete, you pinch hitting later or no? We got to go to the game. You pinch hitting?
No, I'm going to let Alex pinch hit for me.
All right, there you go. Getting close to the first pitch. Can't wait for this one. Should be fun.
I
Why don't
always
we
have
get
your
it
back,
out
Pete.
to San Francisco? The guys calling the game for you tonight. Matt Vasgersian and John Smoltz. Game number 3. Here we go.
In 1989, the Giants faced the
Yeah, Kevin, an anxious crowd in San Francisco, one that'll do all they can to make noise for what they hope is more down-to-the-wire magic for their San Francisco Giants. Welcome to Game 3 of the NLDS, the Chicago Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. And welcome inside the broadcast booth with Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian. We are in store for a dandy of a pitching matchup in Game 3 tonight. The Giants have been here before. They've won a Major League record 9 consecutive games in elimination in the postseason. They've got a guy on the mound tonight, John, who's done nothing but throw 2 shutouts when facing elimination. The only pitcher in Major League history to do that. He hasn't allowed a run in 23 straight elimination innings. And if the Giants are going to move on, they're going to need Madison Bumgarner to be that guy again tonight.
Yeah, other than that, he hasn't done much, right? I mean, the resume is unbelievable. And let me tell you what it takes for the DNA of Madison Bumgarner. First of all, he doesn't care who you are. Second of all, he doesn't care where he is. And third, he doesn't care what kind of game it is. All he does is refuses to lose, and he says, you're going to have to adjust to me. Here's some of that resume that you were talking about, Matt, and it's pretty incredible. You look at those last 6 postseason games, only 4 runs allowed. That's incredible, 4-0 record, and it doesn't stop there. When facing elimination, all he does is go to the post, and he doesn't give up any runs. That's a resume for success. And then he's not too bad against the foe tonight, and that's the Chicago Cubs. He has done well this year at 2-0, his career 8-2, and all he's hoping is that if he doesn't provide the offense for himself, that his team gives him a couple runs.
You turn the scorecard over. The Cubs like their chances tonight to finish business. They've got the reigning Cy Young Award winner on the mound. Jake Arrieta will try to send the Giants home here in their home tonight.
Well, Jake is the forgotten guy, and it's hard that we're even mentioning that because he was so awesome last year. He started off the year just like he ended last year, and in the second half, maybe a little bit of a human factor. I think for Jake Arrieta, when you look at those first 15 starts, you see the Cy Young Award winner that we saw, and then since, been a little bit of a command issue. You see the runs given up in those 7 games, 4+. And for Jake Arrieta and his mechanics, he's going to have to be on key. If you're thinking about the San Francisco Giants, you have to be a little bit patient and hope that maybe his command's a little bit off. Otherwise, it's going to be an incredible battle.
Well, this best-of-5 series began at Wrigley Field on Friday night, when behind a big arm and one big swing of the bat, the Cubs claimed a thriller. Chicago took Game 2 the following night, with Cubs pitchers leading the way on the mound and at the plate, seizing a 2-0 series lead. Tonight, the backdrop is moved west, where facing elimination, the Giants turn to a postseason hero who has shined brightest in moments just like this one. Game 3, Cubs and Giants, is next.
We're the Joneses.
What if your new neighbors?
They're both so accomplished and stylish.
Well, she's not that attractive. Had a secret.
You don't think there's something off about them?
I just want to make sure this is not paranoia.
What is all this stuff? Honey, is that you? Mama wants to cuddle.
The Joneses are not who they say they are. Get in the car now.
I count to 3. We're gonna run. 1, 2.
Oh my God.
Jeff! I was making a head start on your wife.
Keeping Up with the Joneses. Rated PG-13.
So, with that box, you'll be the first to win PlayStation VR. Player 1. Soon, it spreads like wildfire. Humanity becomes so plugged in, we never see them coming. That's why I was sent back to stop you.
Oh, hey, I won.
Right.
The future of gaming starts at Taco Bell. Grab any $5 box and you can be one of the first to win PlayStation VR.
I'm fine.
Alexa, play Broken Wings.
Okay.
Take these broken wings.
You're ridiculous.
Sarah! Come on!
Alexa, turn on the sprinklers.
Okay.
Got him.
The Cowboys have no defense. They're nothing. They've been nothing for the last 4 years.
Shane.
Hi, everybody. This is Pat Hughes. The Chicago Cubs are having one of their greatest seasons of all time. To commemorate this, BigTimeBats.com is releasing the 2016 Chicago Cubs team signature bat. The full-size bat will have the facsimile signatures of the Cubs team and their final regular season record on the bat. The bat is limited to 2016 individually numbered bats and sells for $129.95. Call Big Time Bats now at 1-866-280-BATS.
Every week, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah brings you the news that really matters.
It was so hard to separate these two guys. Both are super religious. Both have multiple kinds of elected office. Both use SPF 1000. Mr. Billionaire could have paid no income tax at all because he lost $916 million. The only way this would make Trump look worse is if we found out that he also claimed a small hands deduction.
Don't miss our continuing coverage of election 2016. The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. New tonight at 11 on Comedy Central.
They don't know about you and I. Oh, how long's gonna get you.
We are all buckled in for a terrific pitching matchup tonight in Game 3 of this best-of-5 National League Division Series. A beautiful night for baseball. Madison Bumgarner will face a Joe Madden-authored lineup that looks like this in Game 3. Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo off the top as per usual. Some changes from here on down. Jorge Soler makes his first appearance of the series batting cleanup. Zobrist, Russell, Baez, Miguel Montero, and Jake Arrieta follow. And for more on the different-looking Cubs lineup for Game 3, we check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Matt, you said it. Joe Madden made two big changes for Madison Bumgarner, going with a left-handed hitter in one case and a right-handed hitter in the other. The left-handed hitter is catcher Miguel Montero, who gets the start over Wilson Contreras because he works so well with Jake Arrieta. Madden said he wants Arrieta as comfortable as possible, and he compared the relationship between Montero and Arrieta to the one between David Ross and John Lester. It's that strong. The other change, Matt, as you mentioned, Jorge Soler for Jason Hayward. Now, Soler has made only 2 starts since September 24th, but Madden chose him over Contreras and Albert Almora Jr. because of his power. The Cubs don't figure to string a bunch of singles together against Bumgarner, and there's another factor as well. Madden wants Soler to get going so he can make an impact if the Cubs advance, and if the Cubs get a lead tonight, they can always insert Jason Hayward for defense. Matt, back to you.
Yeah, Ken, thanks. And Joe told us before the game he had a lot of great options beyond what he chose tonight. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's defensive alignment this evening. The Giants, the best fielding percentage in the National League this year. And a notable change as Angel Pagan was a very late scratch this afternoon due to a sore back. Gregor Blanco bats in the bottom of the lineup and starts in left field tonight in Game 3. So with that, we take a look at the keys to the game, sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company.
Yeah, it's going to be the same word for both teams. Chicago Cubs, please get a run against a guy who doesn't give up anything. Make it easier on Arrieta. And San Francisco Giants, when you get on base, run. It's another guy you can take advantage of the bases because Arrieta is not very good at holding runners.
Game 3 is underway with a swing and a miss by Dexter Fowler.
from Bumgarner, you're going to see basically 50% fastballs, 33% cutters. So everything from 83% is going to be firm, but he uses both sides of the plate, right and left side.
A ball and a strike to count to Dexter Fowler. Fowler 1 for 7 in the series. There aren't many robust lines on either side of the scorecard in the first 2 games of this set. Pitching and defense have really dominated this division series. There's a 1-1 home. Fowler swings and sends a fly ball into left. Gregor Blanco is there to squeeze it. And there's one away. A little bit more on Madison Bumgarner, a 15-game winner this year. 251 strikeouts, tops on the staff, and a career high. He also allowed a career high 26 home runs this year, but that's just a slight blemish on an otherwise brilliant line by Bumgarner.
Yeah, as you can imagine, he's facing predominantly right-handers. He owns left-handed batters, so most of those home runs were against right-handed hitters, and that's when the cutter doesn't get into the hitter. Look for the curveball as well as a weapon for Bumgarner when he thinks you're just sitting on his hard stuff.
1 gone, base is empty now for Chris Bryant. Bumgarner starts in with a strike. Bryant 2 for 7 with an RBI so far in the series. Diminishing returns offensively down the stretch for him, and he's trying to buck a short sample size trend, batting under 200 for his career in the postseason. Behind quickly 0-2. Anthony Rizzo waiting on deck with the bases empty and 1 away. A lot of fans haven't even taken their seats yet.
And there's the curveball. He'll sweep it backdoor, but more importantly, he's trying to get it to the back foot of the right-handed hitter. So what happens is he establishes in, fastball in, then he'll throw cutter in, and he'll try to loop this curveball over the middle of the plate, breaking towards the batter's back right foot. Most hitters have a hard time staying off of that.
Ball and 2 strikes on Chris Bryant. Just lock him up, and it's 2-2.
This is the cutter. Breaks late. You see where Posey catches it. Good discipline by Bryant.
Bryant hit a team best .314 against left-handed pitching during the regular season, and straightens that one out into the left field corner. Bryant wheeling into second with a 1-out double.
Well, Madison missed his spot there, as you'll see. Look where he wanted to target. See it up. Bryant, a bigger hitter, able to pull his hands in and hit it down the line. He's predominantly a pull hitter, even though he'll spray it from time to time. Now, these are going to be the matchups that are going to be interesting. As you mentioned, Soler's batting 4th. You got Rizzo at the plate, who's dangerous, but lefty on lefty. Madison Bumgarner, with his throwing across his body, makes it very difficult on left-handers.
The Cubs lineup that didn't figure on many opportunities against Madison Bumgarner tonight has one with 1 away here in the top of the first.
7 strikeouts against Rizzo, a 188 batting average. Rizzo does not give in to anybody, but I want you to see what this is like with 6'6", long arm, throw across your body delivery. It looks like he's throwing behind him.
Rizzo on a hop to second for Joe Panik. Bryant to third on the second out of the inning. As ornery as Madison Bumgarner is with the bases empty, he gets even more determined with runners in scoring position. That was certainly the case Wednesday in New York when he pitched the complete game 4-hit shutout. Beat the Mets and sent the Giants into the division series. Here is Jorge Soler now with a runner at third and 2 gone. Soler making his first appearance of this series. Had a nice postseason run in 2015. and is one of a handful of Cubs not to have seen much of Madison Bumgarner over the years. Just 0 for 3 against him.
As you mentioned, Joe Maddon thought because of his swing path and the way that maybe he could pop one out of here, use the power of Soler, not necessarily trying to string a bunch of hits together against Bumgarner.
A ball and 2 strikes now.
That's where you got to get him, though, up. We saw Bumgarner do this to Cespedes in the wild card game. Constantly get the ball up 92, 93 miles an hour and beating him.
Bumgarner trying to strand the 2-out runner at third. Some numbers to punctuate the point we made a moment ago. In the postseason, Madison Bumgarner has allowed a 2 for 29 with runners in scoring position. And that includes keeping batters hitless in his last 13 at-bats. The 2-2. A swing and a miss, and that 1-out double is left stranded. Underway in San Francisco, the Cubs 0. The Giants coming to the plate.
I will follow you. Ever since you touched my hand, I knew. I love you, I love you, I love you. Where you go, I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. I'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love. Forever.
Let's go. I think it's time I got my turn. Gonna roam wherever I roam. They wonder
One smart choice leads to the next.
that's just how I roll. I'm gonna go my way.
The new 2017 Ford Fusion is here. It's the beauty of a well-made choice.
It's gonna be a big wide blue sky, sunshine, happy day.
What are you doing?
Getting your quarterback. Fountains don't earn interest, David. You know I work at Ally.
I was being romantic.
You know what I find romantic? A robust annual percentage yield. That's what I find romantic. This is literally throwing your money away.
I think it's over there.
That way?
Yeah, a little further up.
What year was that quarter?
What year's that one?
98.
That's the one. You got it.
Nothing stops us from doing right by our customers. Ally. Do it right.
Let's get out of that water.
What is that?
Man, I don't know. Ask Google.
Is he gone? Finally! I thought he'd never leave.
Why are you texting my man at 2 a.m.?
If you want someone to leave you alone, you pretend like you're sleeping. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Taking selfies in the kitchen does not make you a model. Okay.
Go, let's go. Hey, we got Caitlin on the hill. Stay back. We got a good arm behind the plate. All right, but we're going to run on him. Let's go, baby. Get it up. Win on 3, huh? Hey, win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win!
Denard Span set to lead off the home half of inning number 1. Span, Belton, Posey going to work against the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the National League, right-hander Jake Arrieta, whose night is underway on the road. Well, for Jake Arrieta, following up his Cy Young campaign of 2015, when he won 22 games and posted a 1.77 ERA, 18 wins this year. for the second straight season, allowed a league low 6.3 hits per 9 innings. He was brilliant this year. Perhaps a little un-Arrieta-like in the walk numbers after the All-Star break, but there is nothing wrong with that season-long body of work.
No, mechanically, it's tough to repeat. You're going to have challenges, and he's had some challenges in the second half.
Strike to Span. It's 1-2.
One thing he has is 4 or 5 different pitches to get you out. There was the slider. His cutter usage has gone down, but fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. The changeup, by the way, very underrated. A lot of swing and misses on his changeup.
Swing and a miss by Denard Span, and Jake Arrieta starts his night with a strikeout. Let's take a look at the rest of Bruce Bochy's lineup card for Game 3 tonight. After Span, Belt, and Posey, the 3-time All-Star Hunter Pence bats cleanup, and then it's all lefty bats between Gillespie and Blanco. Again, Blanco a late substitution for Angel Pagan, who was scratched with a bad back. Madison Bumgarner can swing the bat. He bats number 9. There's Brandon Belt now with one away.
Well, the challenge for the Giants is going to be how patient can you be and see if he runs himself into some control issues, because the fact is every pitch he throws moves so much. His sinker moves a lot. The curveball has a huge depth to it. The slider is late, and the changeup is very confusing. So the Giants are in for a battle if he's on his game with command.
Belt checks his swing, and it's a ball and a strike. Belt 1 for 6 through 2 games of this series. You're not going to find a lot of big blossomy offensive numbers on the Giants side for sure. San Francisco has been held scoreless in 25 of their 27 postseason innings. That, of course, included their wild card triumph a week ago. A ball and 2 strikes to Brandon Belt.
Well, he's had Belt's number early on, 7 strikeouts and 10 at bats. Belt thought that ball was down. See, that's a perfect example right there where his mechanics, right? He's trying to go up with a 4-seamer, and if the timing's right, everything in the arm catches up. But right there, he throws across his body much like Bumgarner. You see him pull this pitch, nowhere close. Supposed to be a 4-seamer, and watch him just last minute pull this pitch, and it didn't have the effect anywhere close to the glove.
Swing and a miss by Belt. 2 strikeouts begin the night for Arrieta. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the defense that Jake Arrieta hasn't needed so far behind him in Game 3. Soler, Fowler, and Zobrist in the outfield. Bryant, Russell, Baez, and Rizzo around the horn. And Miguel Montero gets the start behind home plate. There was some thought that Wilson Contreras would be back out there today. Some even felt like David Ross might be starting behind the plate tonight. It is Montero, who Joe Maddon described as having a Ross-Lester-like relationship with Jake Arrieta. 0-1 the count to the former MVP Buster Posey.
We also were talking with Joe Maddon, and we said, you know, have you noticed anything with Arrieta in the second half? And he said his mechanics with his hands and legs, and more important, his upper body. When he leans back, he's out of whack. When he gets down in through it, the ball's more electric. It's a more athletic delivery. And he felt that lately in the last part of the season, his mechanics were more in tune with what they were used to.
Posey with the 2-for-8 line so far through the first 2 games of this division series. The 1-2 pitch to him. Jake Arrieta a strike away from striking out the side to start his night.
Besides 95 miles an hour that's moving, he has every quadrant covered to attack a hitter. He just threw a slider away. He can throw the curveball that starts at the belt and absolutely changes the eye levels. He can throw a 4-seamer up, 2-seamer down, and then mix in that changeup. Hitters just can't eliminate anything.
Still a ball and 2 strikes to the 4-time All-Star. Much the way Madison Bumgarner has frustrated current Cubs hitters, Arrieta can boast the same kind of track record against this group of giants he faces tonight. Posey, one of them, just 1 for 15 against Jake Arrieta.
See, there's a great example of a hitter just trying to fight off, not sure what's coming, can't really sit on it. He's looking, Posey's looking for something hanging over the middle of the plate. The fastball at 95 right there was almost by him.
The next 2-2 is lined into right field. We have a conclusion to report in Boston, quite literally. Kevin Burkhardt back in our Los Angeles studios. KB.
Yeah, Matty, this is Cody Allen. Ran into some trouble trying to wrap it up. Travis Shaw, though, pops it up. Game over, series over. The Indians sweep. They're back in the ALCS for the first time since '07. Well, they'll take on the Blue Jays starting Friday night. With that, Big Papi's career ends. He walked his final at-bat. Matt and John.
Yeah, Kevin, thanks. Not the end to David Ortiz's career that he could have seen coming after such a dominant offensive season in Boston. The Red Sox swept in the division series. So now Hunter Pence with a 2-out base runner aboard here in the home half of the first. Pence also 2 for 8 through the first 2 games of the series. Taken for a strike at 95 up around the letters.
Well, definitely electric, looks fresh. He's faced Pence quite a bit and thrown a lot of sliders and breaking balls. Here, that 2-seamer, see the spin where the late movement comes back. Pence's first movement looks like it's going to third base at times when he's swinging.
It's hard to imagine, and you went through the repertoire of Jake Arrieta. It's hard to imagine it being even deeper than it is now, and that was the case early in his career, before really finding himself as a Cub when he was a young Baltimore Oriole starter. Threw a lot more four-seam fastballs. That repertoire has been finely refined in Chicago.
So there's that late slider. Pence trying to get out. Open stance. He looks like he goes to close it. And then you see the last second he pulls away. But the tight spin on that slider is why a hitter can't recognize that difference between a firm 95-mile-an-hour fastball and something that's breaking away from him.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Pence, a 2-out base runner at first. Got him. With a single scattered in between, 3 strikeouts for Jake Arrieta. Open his night in San Francisco.
If Buster Posey wanted to save money...
Hey, Lenny. Hey, Buster. Forgot my toothbrush.
He wouldn't live out of his locker.
What are you doing? Doing my socks.
He'd save money with Esurance. Because Buster's a smart person, and smart people get Esurance. Official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
In our quest to reach our greatest heights, we require focus, resolve, and the ability to grip the moment. For it is in these moments that we define ourselves by our determination to never let go. Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball.
Sorry, Ariana. You gotta go. Seriously? Verizon limits me and I gotta get home.
You're gonna choose navigation over me?
Maps, get up here.
That way.
Girl, you better get on T-Mobile.
Why pay more for data limits? Introducing T-Mobile One. Unlimited data for everyone. Get 4 lines, just $35 a month.
In banking and baseball, you have to stay alert.
With my Bank of America mobile banking app, I can select alerts that notify me when unusual activity is detected on my credit and debit cards. I used to play when I was younger. I love the outfield. All that green grass. Until the championship and the inside the park home run. Sure could have used an alert then. I missed lunch that day.
Prepare to be amazed by Stow and Go seating. It stows, and you go.
Right. Here we go.
About time, Larry.
Current owners or lessees of FCA or competitive vehicles finance and get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica.
24 consecutive scoreless postseason innings and counting for Madison Bumgarner as he goes back to work. He'll get Ben Zobrist in the second. Switch hitting right fielder tonight, followed by Addison Russell and Javier Baez. Scoreless early on in San Francisco.
Zobrist has a good approach, and it showed 6 for 12 off of Bumgarner. The reason I think it's a good approach is because with Bumgarner, he throws it in and out and spins it like you just saw. But Zobrist stays inside the ball and really doesn't jump out at the plate too much, trying to generate any kind of power, staying up the middle.
They look down to first base, and Marvin Hudson says no swing, and it's 2 balls and a strike now on Ben Zobrist. Zobrist playing in his 6th postseason. He is the most experienced postseason player on either roster in this series. 1 for 7 so far in 2 games against the Giants. Bumgarner took a little off there and gets a strike. It's 2-2. All the numbers for Madison Bumgarner scream of postseason hero. His numbers down the stretch, his numbers in wild card games, his numbers in elimination games, of course the World Series heroics in 2014. His postseason ERA is 1.94. And with pitchers that have a minimum of 10 games started, there are only 2 with a postseason ERA lower. That's wrapped softly to shortstop. Brandon Crawford's got it. There's 1 away. We say hello to Ken Rosenthal again. And Kenny, Joe Maddon's aware of all the numbers, but he's also aware that Madison Bumgarner is a different kind of competitor.
Matt, that's right. And Madden had a really interesting take on Bumgarner yesterday. He said, everyone's always analyzing numbers, looking at spin rate and whatever. But what sets Bumgarner apart is not his stuff, which is really good. It's the way he competes. And Madden said, if you're a kid watching the game tonight, you really want to understand how to get good, you compete, and you compete every pitch. And John, I believe you know something about that.
Well, and I tell you, just getting to know Madison Bumgarner and talking with him, you would be surprised by some of his answers. It's not he's just an honest person that basically doesn't treat this moment anything bigger than it is. He doesn't care who you are. You have to adjust to him.
Foul tip by Addison Russell, who falls behind 0-2.
And his laid back kind of, country style where he's in North Carolina. We've all pictured him with an axe cutting down a tree and riding in a pickup. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. And he just is on the mound better than the guy that's at the plate. His mindset is.
Russell checks his swing.
But to put another point of why he's so tough, you see Russell looks like maybe that last bit of the barrel. He throws from the third base side of the rubber. As we mentioned, he throws across his body, and you see this big, wide, long arm span and wingspan coming at the hitter. And his extension, which means his point from the rubber to when he releases the ball, is pretty long. So that makes him at 6.7 feet, that makes the ball seem firmer to home plate. So that perceived velocity is going to be greater than the velocity you see on your radar screen or on your TV set. That's why the hitters have a hard time picking it up at late life.
2-2 to Russell. Addison Russell hitless so far in this series. 1 out, bases empty with Javier Baez waiting on deck, the only hitter on either side that's really flexed any kind of muscle in the first 2 games of the series. Here's the next 2-2 home. And Russell hanging around.
Got away with one there. That cutter's supposed to be in. That one was right over the middle of the plate. Right here, the cutter is a 4-seam fastball grip. You're not looking for a ton of movement. You're just looking for it late. Maybe an inch or 2 and sometimes 3. The hitter doesn't barrel that pitch up when executed right by the pitcher.
And Russell making Bumgarner work here on this 2-2 count with 1 out and the bases empty. This will be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance on its way. Addison Russell really slowed down at the end of the season. Last 20 games, including this series, just 9 for his last 63. And that one hits him.
Well, he wanted it up, he got it up, and there was no reason for Russell to do anything. And he'll take the on base via the hit by pitch.
So 1 out, 1 on now for Javier Baez. His home run in game 1 on Friday in Chicago, the game winner. 3 for 6 in 2 games in this series. Baez .311 batting average against left-handers, trails only Chris Bryant atop the Cubs roster.
You know, Matt, the Mets had an approach that they were going to be aggressive early, and they were. 21 pitches through 3 innings, and they were just trying to take advantage of whatever they could see and not get deep in the count, where the Cubs have taken the opposite approach. And 4 of the first 6 batters have seen 5 pitches or more. I believe if you're going to grind out at bats and you're going to make this guy work, make him work as hard as you can, even though we know that he could go 9 innings just like anybody else. You just got to make him work hard.
Yeah, the pitch count just is something that's, I know there's people that advocate throwing it out for everybody, but it's particularly irrelevant when you're talking about Bumgarner in the postseason. And Baez not one to shorten up with a swing and a miss to put him behind 0-2. Bumgarner threw 119 pitches on Wednesday in Queens, the most he had thrown in a postseason game. Dave Righetti's seen it before, seen it and marveled, as he told us earlier. Zobrist grounded to shortstop. Russell hit by a pitch, and it's still 0-2 to Javier Baez. Ball and 2 strikes. Miguel Montero waits on deck. Tough matchup for him against the left-hander Bumgarner. Everything Javi Baez makes contact on, and again, contact had been a problem for him early on, is hard. I don't know that he's ever just topped the baseball and hit something foul into the dirt.
I'm just telling you, it's an amazing 1-year adjustment. This guy was an automatic strikeout in big situations. You never had to throw him a strike. And now you really, really have to execute. You can still strike him out up in the zone and out.
Dances out of the way there and works it to even 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we had some of those numbers, and we talked about it on Friday. The fact that when he first came up, Javier Baez struck out at an alarming rate, 41% of his plate appearances in 2014. This year, he cut that number almost in half. Little check-in on Russell, who stole 5 bases in 6 attempts this year.
Well, Bumgarner's gotten so much better since 2012. They stole on him like they're talking about stealing on Arrieta at 27. This year, only 6 stolen bases against him.
Remember, Russell started his plate appearance 0-2 and then saw 6 more pitches. Same for Baez. He started 0-2. And he's going to see at least 5 more, the 5th coming here. You know, we talked about Baez with different results. He looks different at the plate as well.
He does. You got a split screen on the left, a lot of movement. The wiggle is a little bit more pronounced. He's cut back a little bit on the wiggle. He's more in balance on the right side, and he's able to handle those pitches over the zone. You could throw the ball up, down, in, and out in 2014, and he would swing. Now he's gotten the maturity, that a progression of a young player in the highest moments, and he's making pitchers work a lot harder than they used to.
Another 8-pitch at bat from Madison Bumgarner. And it's a full count to Baez now.
You know, it starts with not only this game being a game of adjustment, it starts with trust and being able to utilize, not being anxious, not trying to jump out at everything and hit it 500 feet. Baez has learned how to be a little bit more in control in the batter's box.
Sharply hit to third. Gillespie knocks it down. He won't have a play, and Baez is aboard on his 4th hit of the series.
This is great on 2 fronts. This is incredible battle at the plate. He hits it so firmly, but how Gillespie can able to knock that down and prevent a double and possibly a run scored is a credit to these 2 teams. Play great defense. They pitch extremely well, but they also play some of the best defense in baseball.
But you can bet Javi Baez is hustling out of the box tonight after a misgiving in that regard in game 2. So 1st and 2nd now with 1 gone. And that'll bring up Miguel Montero, making his 1st start of the series. Had a plate appearance on Saturday as a pinch hitter. And Montero lines the first pitch into right. Pence has got it, and there were 2 gone.
Well, Montero said, I'm not going to waste any time. First one I see. That's a tough task. Lefty on lefty against Bumgarner. It literally looks the opposite of what Jake Arrieta does to right-handers. It looks like he throws behind you. That arm and angle and release that he saw one he liked. Couldn't get enough topspin. These are 2 pitchers, by the way, that love hitting in this game. Jake Arrieta and Bumgarner can definitely hold their own.
Yeah, Arrieta, a .262 hitter this year. A couple of doubles, 2 homers. He tripled this year. He got 17 hits this season. That was the most by a Cubs pitcher since Carlos Zambrano had 28 back in 2008. One thing is for sure, the Cubs are making Bumgarner work this inning. Bumgarner's thrown 26 pitches this inning, and for context, he threw a total of 21 in the first 3 innings of the wild card game on Wednesday. That is not something that's going to make the Giants happy. They've been out RBI'd by the Cubs pitching staff. Big swing and a miss. I can't tell which grunt Who grunted there? Was that Jake or was that Madison?
No, that's Madison.
Okay.
Madison will grunt at the plate, too.
Arrieta launches to left, and it's gone! Madison Bumgarner had never allowed a home run to a pitcher. Dexter Fowler follows with a broken bat base hit.
Well, he had thrown pass balls up by him, but this one didn't get high enough. He didn't change his swing. For Madison Bumgarner, this inning, the Cubs have made him work so hard that he didn't have an opportunity against a normal pitcher. He had to grind as if it was an everyday hitter, and that's what Jake Arrieta is saying.
Oh, man. That's like a scene out of a WWE act.
Well, pitchers' RBIs have 6. Madison Bumgarner knew as soon as he threw it. So you want the DH, huh?
Oh, boy. Here's your postcard against it, I guess. Here's Chris Bryant now. 3 runs in with 2 away and a runner at first. All this happening, mind you, with 2 strikes in these counts. Russell hit by a pitch with 2 strikes. Baez singled on a 2-strike pitch. And then the home run by Arrieta on a 2-strike pitch. Had it not been for the fact that there are so many Cub fans here tonight, this ballpark would have been stone cold silent a moment ago.
Well, there is a little bit of gamesmanship that you'll never admit, pitcher against pitcher. And when you saw him throw the fastball by Arrieta a couple times, you felt like that machoism was going to do it again, and he just didn't elevate it enough.
2 balls and no strikes to count to Chris Bryant. 3-0 now. Among the questions that we asked Bruce Bochy before this game, none of us thought we'd need to say, in case Madison goes short, who's your long guy? That didn't enter anybody's mind. There's a 3-0 home to Bryant, and there's ball 4. And it threatens to get even worse for the team down 0-2.
Well, the bottom line is for the Giants, no matter what Madison Bumgarner does the rest of the way, they've got to find a way to score runs. They haven't scored any runs in this series because they face some pretty darn good pitching. Madison Bumgarner's only 3 losses in the postseason have come here at home, which is weird in and of itself. And he's been on such a run that everybody expected in this park, and I'm sure on this team, he would just continue that and put up 0 after 0.
Here's Anthony Rizzo now. The 8th Cub to bat in the inning. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. By the way, what the Cubs are doing here this inning with 2-strike counts is not anything new. They've got an on-base percentage of .273 with 2 strikes. That might not sound like a lot, but it's the 2nd best in Major League Baseball. It has been a completely different night for Madison Bumgarner here at home. Rizzo lunging, and it's 0-2. Rizzo goes down swinging to end the inning. But a big swing of emotion on one mighty swing of the bat. It's the reigning Cy Young Award winner continuing a theme of hitting pitchers that puts the Cubs up 3-0.
They say the Kentucky Buckets aren't a real football team. They say that we're just a cheap marketing gimmick that I made up to sell buckets of my delicious chicken to football fans. They say that our uniforms are too sexy, that our fans are nothing but mannequins.
What? Who said it?
I say they're wrong. Yeah. Now get out there and let's do this photo shoot for the KFC $20 fill-up.
Here we go.
Now available with extra crispy tenders. Perfect for game day. It's finger-licking good.
At Cricket Wireless, we believe in smarter phones for all. Switch to Cricket and choose between the free Alcatel Streak and the free ZTE Sonata 3. Ask not what you can do for your network, ask what our great big network can do for you.
Modern life deserves a modern way to pay.
Hey, help. Dude.
You can use it online and on your phone.
Master passed it. XXXXL.
That's sweet.
Coming in for the save.
Thank you.
Priceless.
Want a napkin?
Well, what we thought was a strikeout to end the inning was not.
Meet the new face of late night sports.
Rizzo gets another chance, and that soft liner is how the inning comes to a close. We'll put some further explanation on it when we come back. An inning and a half into the night, and the Cubs have a 3-0 lead.
Meet the new face of late night sports talk, Katie Nolan.
It's my show. If you weren't paying attention, you're paying attention now.
Garbage Time with Katie Nolan on FS1.
I'm Jillian Michaels, America's toughest trainer. You want to burn more calories? Want unbelievable results? Well, guess what? There's a better way. The X11i Incline Trainer from Nordic Track.
The X11i can go from an incredible -6 to 40% incline for 5 times the calorie burn.
From Nordic Track.
The only place you can get your incline trainer is at NordicTrack.com. Order today with 0% down and free shipping. Only at NordicTrack.com.
The first rule of being a Viking is that teamwork is important. Remember to do the little things. Help each other out. And the second rule of being a Viking, there's more than one way to win. Vikings, War of Clans. Play free now.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Well, kind of a clunky moment there getting out of that last half inning. It looked clear to us that this ball was swung on and missed by Anthony Rizzo. In fact, by that replay, it does look like a clean swing and miss. However, prior to a review, the umpires got together and the determination was made that Rizzo actually fouled that ball into the dirt. That's why he got another swing when players were already coming off the field and we were heading to a commercial break. So welcome back inside with John Smoltz, Matt Vasgersian, And if this San Francisco crowd, so excited about an hour ago, needed another thing to be confused about, it was that, because certainly the way that half inning went down is something that these fans are not used to seeing.
No, definitely not. That was a grind in the Chicago order as they went to the plate. They made it virtually impossible for Madison Bumgarner to get him out early. They worked the count, they threw 6-7 pitches, and it ultimately resulted in a home run by Arrieta. But that situation there, the home plate umpire asked to see if anybody saw something differently. Now, we saw via the replay that he didn't foul the ball off and it didn't hit the dirt. Fortunately for the San Francisco Giants, it didn't cost him anything. The next pitch was lined out.
Yeah, that was not a reviewable moment. The play wasn't reviewed on video. The umpires got together and they determined the inning was still going. It ended a pitch later. So Jake Arrieta, after his offensive heroics of a half inning ago, is back to work. Connor Gillespie the first to face him. Giants in a 3-0 hole early tonight. Gillespie, Crawford, and Panic here for San Francisco. You know, we went on the air talking about some of the streaks that the Giants were hoping would continue tonight. Winning 11 straight postseason series, tying a major league record. Winning 9 straight elimination games, setting a major league record. And we were on the watch for Madison Bumgarner to see how long he can continue his consecutive scoreless inning streak in the postseason. It's officially over at 24.
Well, the only good news is it is the bottom of the second. And like anybody who's ever pitched before, doesn't have to really say this, but that's the target, boys. We got to get 4. I'm not giving up any more. And that's the mindset I'm sure Madison Bumgarner will have. So you've got to chip away. You got to make Jake Arrieta work as hard as possible. Pick out mistakes and not miss them.
Gillespie with a one-hopper back to Arrieta. And there's one away. Well, tomorrow the National League Division Series continues on FS1 as the Nationals try to eliminate the Dodgers after taking a 2-1 series lead today. And if necessary, the Giants will try to even up this series should they win tonight against the Cubs. And that's coming up tomorrow right here on FS1. The ALDS both over, both ending in sweeps. Toronto Blue Jays sweeping the Texas Rangers, and as of about an hour ago, Cleveland Indians doing the same to the Boston Red Sox. Here's Brandon Crawford now. He picks on the first pitch. Another comebacker for Arrieta. And there are 2 away.
Now the Giants just have to find a way to get on base with the right guy and mess the rhythm of Jake Arrieta. When you're facing a great pitcher, you don't want him to get in a groove. Whatever you can do to mess that up, you've got plenty of innings to do it. Just got to find a way to get him out of the stretch.
Giants have hit only 1 ball out of the infield today. I know we're early, but Buster Posey's single, the only thing that's got past the pitcher's mound. 3 strikeouts and a pair of comebacks. 1-0 home to Joe Panic, misses high. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Panic was 1 for 3 with a double in Game 2 at Wrigley Field Saturday night. Such an important player for the Giants last year, who went through some diminishing returns in 2016. Bruce Bochy told us before the game he feels a little bit better about where Joe Panic's swing is now. But during the season, he was guilty of being a bit too passive at the plate. Feeling for base hits was the term that Bruce Bochy used with us earlier. And there's ball 4.
Yeah, it almost seemed like when Panic came in and in the thrust of their World Series run, it looked like he had the swing that was not capable of going in a slump. It was so easy and short and compact. But some injuries and lack of reps have looks like got him in a little bit of a funk.
So he's aboard after the 2-out walk now for Gregor Blanco, who had a pinch hit double in Game 2 on Saturday, making his first start of the series here tonight. Again, Angel Pagan, a late scratch with a sore back. You know, we said this in Game 1, that for any opposition lineup to have success against John Lester, you'd think the running game would be a priority. The same is true against Jake Arrieta, perhaps not as pronounced as it is against Lester. But really, the opportunity to run is something the Giants just haven't had.
Yeah, and I make an argument Panik has to go at some point during this at-bat. He has a 1.4 to 1.5 delivery to home plate. That is plenty for an average runner to get to second base. You get your lead, you make up your mind, and you go.
Giants didn't run a lot during the regular season, and Panik's stolen base total just 5. The only player in their lineup tonight with even a double-digit stolen base total is Denard Span. A ball and 2 strikes to Gregor Blanco. Bumgarner next, and then it's Span in the hold, and you can bet Madison Bumgarner would love an opportunity to match Arrieta's hitting heroics tonight. As John mentioned earlier, a couple of the best hitting pitchers in baseball. Two balls and 2 strikes. You know, making it a little more tempting to run if you're the Giants is the fact that Miguel Montero is not the best catch and throw guy on the Cubs roster. He threw out only 7 of 66 attempted base stealers. Panik doesn't go again, and there's ball 3. Well, with 2 out and a full count pitch, Joe Panik will most certainly be running here.
Don't think Bumgarner wouldn't like an opportunity with the same scenario, 2 runners on, 2 outs, to have his chance at it.
There goes Panik, the 3-2 home, a swing and a miss, and Arrieta's out of the mini jam in the second. On to inning number 3. 3-0 Chicago.
This beer is fiercely loyal. Brewed generation after generation, only with Moravian barley. Coors Banquet. That's how it's done.
I overpack, but my guy knows what to bring. Like Viagra single packs for ED.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension. Your blood pressure could drop to an unsafe level. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra single packs.
Here's an eye-opening stat. The number of obese and overweight Bay Area children could fill our baseball stadium 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. But on November 8th, we get a chance to change the game. Just 1 soda a day can lead to an extra 10 pounds a year. But a small tax can make a big difference, helping reduce consumption, childhood obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Vote yes on Measure V in San Francisco and on Measure HH in Oakland.
Upgrade season's here. I got my new iPhone 7 from Sprint.
Sprint? I'm hearing good things about the network.
All the networks are great now. We're talking within a 1% difference in reliability of each other. And Sprint saves you 50% on most current national carrier rates. And if you got 1% more haircut than me today, would you really pay twice as much?
No, I wouldn't.
Copy that.
Switch to Sprint and get iPhone 7, plus save 50% off most current national carrier rates. Don't let a 1% difference cost you twice as much. Woo!
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series, and maybe sooner than we think.
Chicago Cubs select Chris Bryant, third baseman from the University of San Diego, California.
Towering blast for Chris Bryant. Way back. It's gone.
My mind doesn't function the way yours must.
This accountant has evaded every government agency. Multiple identities. He's incredibly dangerous.
Everyone's hiding something.
What is this?
Who are you?
I don't discuss client business.
The Accountant. Rated R.
3-0 Chicago, top half of the third. Jorge Soler, Ben Zobrist, and Addison Russell against Madison Bumgarner. The damage coming in the second. The 3-run home run by Jake Arrieta. And Soler begins the process to try to add on here early. We talked about it a moment ago, two of the better hitting pitchers in recent memory. And I'm sure that other pitchers kind of watch and wonder at what Arrieta and Bumgarner are capable of doing at the plate. Among them, and I'm guessing, Giants left-hander Matt Moore, who joins us on the telecast. Matt, good evening to you. I know that this one hasn't really started out great on your side, but what do you think of when you watch two guys like Arrieta and Bumgarner swing the bat? It's almost not fair.
Yeah, it's I think the second game I've got to see Jake hit, but get to hit with Madison almost every day in the same group, and no, he definitely pushes us and puts on a show. Big old strong guy out there.
Not to mention, this ballpark is not conducive for a lot of home runs. I'm interested, as you've gotten here in your short time here, has it changed the way you approach when you pitch here in this big ballpark?
Maybe a little bit. You know, just as far as, you know, if you're in Yankee Stadium, you don't feel as good about, you know, challenging a guy on the outside part of the plate, especially late. You know, here, you know, maybe a little bit different thought process there, just knowing that right field, right center field gap is pretty big. Center field, it's, I mean, I've definitely gotten away with a couple pitches, having some of the bigger alleyways, so it's been nice.
Terrific play there by Connor Gillespie to get Jorge Soler. Great barehanded pickup. Here's Ben Zobrist now with one away. And Matt, talk about pitching with such a solid defensive unit behind you, because that's been a real hallmark of this year's Giants team.
Yeah, I mean, since day one I got here, the 1st of August, you know, it was Denard making a diving play in the gap, and you know, late August game at Dodger Stadium, we had great, you know, some really good defense there and some tough situations, and you know, it's been, you know, tough road for us getting to this point, but our defense has been very solid for us.
Yeah, Matt, I know that you're hoping for good things tonight, as your former teammate Ben Zobrist lines one into the left field corner. On his way into second and thinking about third, puts on the brakes as he rounds the bag, and he'll settle with a one-out double. I know you're hoping for a little turn of fortune here, Matt, to have an opportunity to throw tomorrow as we watch Zobrist again ring that double into the corner. You're as familiar with Joe Madden as anybody, having pitched for him in Tampa St. Pete for a number of years. Is any of what's happened with this year's Cubs team surprising to you, knowing Joe as you do?
No, not one bit. You know, I think you know, they have a pretty good mix of, you know, some veteran guys and some younger guys, and you know, at least for me, being a younger player as I was coming up.
Another base hit, this one into left. Zobrist held at third.
But no, I think Joe does a good job of helping younger players, you know, feel comfortable in their own skin, you know, for the first time in the big leagues, and I think he does a really good job of not making you feel like there's an expectation you got to meet, which you know, it's already tough enough as it is when you first get up, and I think he's got a good way of making you feel good about yourself and comfortable about the situations.
Matt, we appreciate the visit during the game. Best of luck to you should you get the opportunity tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys.
Matt Moore joining us during the telecast. Here's Javi Baez now with runners at first and third. And for the second time behind Madison Bumgarner, George Kontos is up and throwing in the San Francisco bullpen. Baez was one of the problems in extending a plate appearance in the second. He was able to battle back from an 0-2 start, and on a 3-2 pitch he singled. That put runners at first and second, and then with 2 away, Arrieta hit the home run. Bumgarner already up and over 60 pitches on the night. Baez shortens up and bunts it foul.
Yeah, that's a play that Joe Maddon has worked on and loves and is really tough to defend. It's the safety squeeze. The third base runner reads when the hitter puts it down. But Baez just a little bit rushed it. All you got to do is bunt it anywhere between the first baseman and the pitcher's mound. You cannot throw the runner out at home.
A favorite of Joe Maddon's this year is the 0-2.
You know, there's a lot of things that you probably wouldn't have expected if you're just tuning in to see 3 runs on the board in a Madison Bumgarner game. The thought of him not even getting an at-bat would probably be one of the most unlikely scenarios. And that's what he's in danger of if he can't get out of this inning. Not even getting an at-bat.
Baez fouls that one into Posey. It's still a 1-2 count. Take a look at what Cubs pitching has done at the plate in this series. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in, doubling the total of the rest of the lineup. In fact, the Cubs are the first team with 2 different pitchers homering in a single postseason series since 1924. Trevor Cahill not among them, but he's enjoyed it. 2-2. Runners at the corners with 1 away, and a check in on Russell. Again, I don't know that anybody came to the ballpark. Bruce Bochy at the top of the list, visualizing the scenario that you just laid out, John, where Bumgarner would not have had a plate appearance. Freezes him up. Took a lot off, and Bumgarner catches Baez looking.
Yeah, to Baez, this ball starts like a ball. He thinks there's no way, and then the late break catches the corner. Once he gives up, he can't pull the trigger as a hitter. Now Montero, who swung at the first pitch, I would think Bumgarner might want to throw a little wrinkle up there. Hard cutter, maybe, first pitch.
Montero lined to right on that first pitch he saw back in the second. This one fouled away, offering again aggressively.
This hasn't been Bumgarner's best location tonight. He's still beating some of the hitters, but he's not hitting the spots that we saw him hit on a continual basis against the Mets in the wild card game.
Montero with a drive out to right. Plenty of room for Hunter Pence to retire the side. 2 are left stranded in the top of the 3rd. Bumgarner working hard and still trailing by 3.
I can do this, but not without you, not without your faith.
He's coming out.
I can assassinate the president.
That's confirmed. He has been hit.
I walked into this hospital, and I want to walk out.
What's that?
Killing Reagan, a movie event, premieres Sunday at 8 on the National Geographic Channel.
Hey, Jesse.
Who are you?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya.
Vern from Voya?
Yep, Vern from Voya.
Why are you orange? That's a little weird.
Really?
That's the weird part in the scenario. Look, Orange Money represents the money you put away for retirement. Save a little here and there, and over time, your money could multiply. See?
Oh, okay.
So, why are you orange?
Funny.
See how Voya can help you get organized at Voya.com.
Stop. With that box, you'll be the first to win PlayStation VR. Player one. Soon, it spreads like wildfire. Humanity becomes so plugged in, we never see them coming. That's why I was sent back to stop you.
Oh, hey, I won.
Right.
The future of gaming starts at Taco Bell. Grab any $5 box and you can be one of the first to win PlayStation VR.
You don't have to pay a lot to get a lot. At Cricket Wireless, plans now start at $30 a month, monthly taxes and fees included. And we have more 4G LTE coverage than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Tomorrow's the day we'll play something besides video games.
Every day is a gift, especially for people with heart failure. But today, there's Entresto, a breakthrough medicine that can help make more tomorrows possible.
Tomorrow, I want to see Teddy bait his first hook.
In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto was proven to help more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna step out with my favorite girl.
Ask your heart doctor about Entresto and help make the gift of tomorrow possible.
Madison Bumgarner leads off the home half of the third. Giants trailing the Cubs 3-0 Chicago. The Jake Arrieta 3-run home run, the difference early on so far. Bumgarner picks on the first pitch and bounces it to Bryant. And there is one away to start the home third. T-Mobile One lets MLB fans dig into the game with unlimited LTE data on their smartphones. Show us how you're a baseball fan by using #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB Shop gift code and the chance to win tickets to every 2017 World Series game. Is Denard Span now with one away. 4 strikeouts, first time through the order for Jake Arrieta tonight. Span takes a strike.
For Jake Arrieta, 35-1 with a 3-run lead the last 2 seasons. That's including the postseason. So when he's given a 3-run lead, he obviously knows what to do with it. And he's been pretty successful for the Cubs. The Giants are hoping to change that streak.
Span quickly behind 0-2. Brandon Belt waits next with one away and the bases empty here in the last of the third. And Span lines it into the right field corner. Span can run. He'll get into second without a play. And the Giants have a runner in scoring position with one out in the third.
Giants are just going to have to scratch anything they can. It's like these fans came here and their superhero, Madison Bumgarner, lost one of his powers, giving up 3 runs, and the crowd's been quiet. So the Giants hitters have to wake up. They woke up the last 10 games of the season. To get to this point, they're going to have to get some big hits just to keep this game close and keep everybody involved.
What a wave of energy shooting through the stands. Here's Brandon Belt now, a strikeout victim in his first try. A ball and no strikes to Belt. The Giants' home run leader was 17 during the regular season.
It sure looked like he went live, and now seeing the replay confirms it.
I've never heard you say he checked it. You think he went?
Oh, yeah.
2 balls and no strikes. They play Belt on the overloaded right side of the infield via StatCast, powered by Amazon Web Services. So what does he do? He sends a slicing foul pop for Bryant. And that's the second out of the inning.
See, that's the tough part about facing Jake Arrieta. You think 2-0 fastball, 3-run lead. No, sorry. He's going to cut it in just when you think you're going to attack it with the barrel. It gets inside. See that cutter spin? Now, when you're trying to face a 95-mile-an-hour sinker, you're anticipating the ball to change lanes on the other side. That ball stays straight with just a little bit of a cut. And it's amazing from a hitter standpoint, even though that pitch didn't move a lot, the effect it can have.
Here's Buster Posey now. He has one of the two Giants hits tonight, a 2-out single in the first. San Francisco just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position in the series. You know, when Jake Arrieta went on that magnificent run last year after the All-Star break, he gave up a total of 1 base hit with a runner in scoring position over a 15-start stand. That 1 base hit was given up to Buster Posey. I mean, that's when Jake Arrieta took off and effectively won the Cy Young Award last year. 12-1 with a 0.75 ERA after the All-Star break. That was a historical run he went on. And to imagine yielding only 1 base hit with runners in scoring position. It's one thing to do that in a single start, let alone 15. And Posey comes through against him again. The Giants are on the board in the third.
Simple swing, stay up the middle, try to not do too much. That's exactly what Posey did. And it's exactly what the Giants needed. Just some form of scratch their way back into the game. And let momentum here at home be with the crowd and with your players as long as possible.
There's Hunter Pence now with Posey aboard and a run in with 2 away. Pence, a strikeout victim back in the first. 2 for 9 in this series so far. 0-2.
This pitch should be nowhere close to the strike zone. You can expand it on Pence. He's as unorthodox of a hitter you'll see. That's what you can get him to do. I mean, he is amazing.
How do you even make contact with that ball?
He's all arms, legs. Like I said, he's one of those guys that letter high fastball, somehow he gets to it. He has that approach, much like a lot of the Giants when they're trying to put the ball in play, how they execute. You got to bounce it.
Still 0-2 to Hunter Pence. You know, when the Giants were down 0-2 to the Cincinnati Reds in the 2012 Division Series, it was Hunter Pence who delivered the memorable, rousing clubhouse win one for the Gipper speech and kind of took the mantle as the fiery leader of the team, in part leading the Charge to come back from that 0-2 deficit 4 years ago. Pence well hit into right center field. Zobrist is back to make the play and retire the side. The Giants do get one of them back, and at the end of 3, San Francisco trails by 2.
The new Ford Escape. Life is a sport. We are the utility. Be unstoppable.
Hey, Evan. So, you're stuck at a work thing. With DirecTV and AT&T, you can stream all your favorite shows without using your data. That makes you more powerful than a table for 60.
Wednesdays are the new Thursdays.
Or the mandatory after party.
How early is too early to leave?
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
It's your TV. Take it with you. Watch all your live channels on your devices data-free.
Great game last night.
Yeah, fantastic finish.
That kid stuff was electric.
Reminds me of a young Pedro.
It's gonna go down to the wire, right to the very end. Woo! Better buckle your seatbelt. Nice job, Berthy.
Yo, HR, my AB, man. Oh, man.
Lighter's getting rocked.
Harold still got it.
It's showtime. Let's go.
And welcome everyone to MLB Tonight.
Hi everybody, this is Pat Hughes. The Chicago Cubs are having one of their greatest seasons of all time. To commemorate this, BigTimeBats.com is releasing the 2016 Chicago Cubs team signature bat. The full-size bat will have the facsimile signatures of the Cubs team and their final regular season record on the bat. The bat is limited to 2016 individually numbered bats and sells for $129.95. Call Big Time Bats now at 1-866-280-BATS.
Forge of Empires. Develop your own city from the Stone Age to modernity. Available in the App Store and at FOE.tv. Forge of Empires. Play now.
The 2016 postseason is here. MLBShop.com has you covered. Get your team's official gear now at MLBShop.com.